All I remember was waking up at 11:45 with this guy smashing his gun against my face. He dragged me to every room saying, if there's a safe in here and you don't tell me, you're gonna die. We were kind of execution style in our closet, and he says, if you count to 300, if you move, we will come back and shoot you both. You don't know what you're gonna do when you're put in a position that you have to defend yourself, but we have to protect the Second Amendment to protect our rights.
Victim advocate and Second Amendment activist Toni Moceri has always relied on her inherent self-determination and drive. As a young single mother, she worked tirelessly to build a career while caring for her son David, who suffered from a childhood medical condition.
I got pregnant when I was 22, so I was right out of college. He had a hip bone disease that he had to go to Emory Hospital every day for 5 days. It was part of a trial. I don't know how people do it because I had support from other people in my family. Basically, that was my life. You know, he basically became my life along with working.
It was this time that Toni spent in hospitals with her son that sparked her passion for philanthropy and helping children with childhood illnesses.
I was a single parent for a long time to now a 28-year-old son, so I had to work as harder as everybody else, but even harder because I really needed the money to survive. So that drive has stuck with me. So when I started doing some things for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, it was because my son had gotten experience from there. Since 2000, we've collected probably about 30,000 toys that we've delivered to Children's Healthcare during Christmas time to those kids that are in the hospital.
I'm very proud of her. She's very involved in many charity events around town. Doesn't ask for any credit, doesn't look for any credit.
I was always a people person. I wanted to be doing things that were always changing. And when I came here, I started my own company with very little money and had one client and just grew from there. I worked with Harvard Brigham Women's Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, Scripps Clinic, all over the country, including here in Atlanta, Piedmont Hospital. And we did that for 17 years until the industry was changing in 2008. And when that happened, I went into consulting. I have a small boutique marketing company called Toni Moceri & Company. It's me and 2 other people.
The phrase, "it could happen to anyone," became a reality for Toni and her boyfriend Mark after they became victims of a violent home invasion, leaving the couple forever changed and steadfast in their support of the Second Amendment.
The Saturday before Father's Day in 2015, all I remember was waking up at 11:45 with this guy smashing his gun against my face, and that's how I woke up. So he pulled me out, I landed on the wood floor, and he dragged me on the wood floor, my knees actually, and the whole time he had the gun behind my head. He dragged me to where the safe was. He took the stuff out of the safe. He took all of my jewelry. We were kind of execution style in our closet, and I start to cry, and he says, count to 300, and if you move, we will come back and shoot you both. We didn't really say anything to each other. We were just traumatized. I mean, you're in your own house. You don't expect to be robbed in your house or where you think you're supposed to be protected. And I would have these conversations that brought the debate closer. I'm like, well, I believe in the Second Amendment rights. I didn't want to be a victim, and I became this advocate in Atlanta. And so through the last year and a half, that's what I've done.
She's a very strong person anyway, but she moved forward. It will always bother both of us in some way, but you will never see that from her. All you can do is, hold your head up and move forward, and she's done that in a remarkable way.
But it was that traumatic experience that inspired Toni to do more to protect our Second Amendment right and led her to her next endeavor as co-chair of the 2017 NRA Women's Leadership Forum Luncheon and Auction in Atlanta, Georgia.
I thought, I need to get involved with an organization that does that. I knew about, the NRA. It was just I never got involved. I thought, you know what, I want to do more. So I got involved in the NRA Women's Leadership Forum. The convention hadn't been in Atlanta since 1974, and it made me feel like I even wanted to participate more.
I think the NRA's made a great choice. She's a great leader. You know, I've been a member most of my life, and I think it's very important.
I mean, it's amazing all the things that these women are doing. I think it's really important that because their impact is helping other women understand, and their daughters are listening to them, and their sisters are listening to them, or their mothers are listening to them. I think my legacy will be that I was always giving back and helping other people. I empowered other women to keep trying to be better, and I think that's what I believe.